Okay, good afternoon, gents. How you doing? What? Armin asks, how are you? So, hope everyone is okay. I've been doing a few affirmations, a few sort of getting myself in the right frame of mind. It's something I'm going to continue to do every day. So I get to my chart around about 25 minutes ago, and I just try and focus on what my job is for the day. And do some affirmations. I think it's good. It gets you focused and gets you in the mood for the day. And hopefully it'll help me. Robin, how you doing, buddy? Dr. Lenny, how are you? So I do like this guy. I'll show you quickly. What time is it? We're still early. This guy, he comes over really well. Where is he? He's the guy I showed you yesterday. I like what he's got to say. What did I just watch? Yeah, this guy.
Now, because I got trade one right, I carry that confidence into my second trade. And it's not just normal confidence. It's a high level of confidence where I wish I had put more money so I could have made more. And the second trade is where I would typically just lose the profits, if not more, because I was like, well, I'm so good at this. I'm going to make more. I have to just risk more. And that has hurt me countless times.
So look him up.
There's times where I have been on...
What he's got to say. I like the way he talks about he's been through it all himself. And I watch a little bit of him and just try to get myself mentally focused. And I believe a lot of traders do that. Do something to get themselves mentally focused. You tend to think when you're a professional you don't need it, but I think it's important to do. So what's happened overnight this morning? I'll put that little line there. It just looks like there's quite a bit of support and resistance there, so I've just plonked that there in case we come down. Brick, how you doing, bud? Yeah, he's good, Kev. Actually, he's good. I like what he's got to say, and he gets some really good, positive comments that a lot of people find his comments and what he's got to say really useful. And I think really, if you can sort of zone in on certain people like that sort of, they ring something. They ring true to you when you listen to them. I think it's important to get some of that in your trading day. So we've had a strong move up. Actually, we've had there was two legs, and it's obviously continue to push higher. So that's quite a bit of a start. So let's just have a look back a few days. So I do think we're still just in this range, really, aren't we? Going sideways between sort of 46.10. And around 45.40, something like that. 46.10 and 46, yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what happens here. So, but I've been just trying to mentally prepare myself for this time around. As I told you yesterday, I've increased to 2 contracts, but I'm just going to try and find one trade a day and just make better choices. It did seem to take forever to get your account up to a sort of relaxed, an area where you can relax a little bit, you know what I mean? But okay, market's just opened, so we've gone from here and here, so that does seem like a bit of an overshoot. So I would expect likely a pullback or something, but hopefully we may get a leg back and a couple of legs back and something again. So where did I say we're moving between? Yeah, sort of this level. So I've got yesterday's highs up here. And it was pretty much a trending day yesterday, right the way down. Nothing really changed. So, let's see what happens. Leg down, maybe as we get 2 legs up and down some more. Who knows? So, let's have a look. I said the low brick, haven't I? Yeah, I think so. So, let's see how we get on today. I'm just trying to focus a little bit more. Sometimes you can get yourself into a little bit of a tether, can't you? A little bit of frustration. And I think you've got to try and clear that and not bring it into your trading. I did yesterday at the start, and in all fairness, I got a bit lucky. So I don't want to be making that mistake again. I so badly want to succeed at this, I really do. But it seems when something goes wrong, it's almost like someone takes over your brain. But I'm just trying to slow things down a little bit. Just do a few breathing exercises and try and get myself focused on this, just this session one day at a time. So, it may be an overshoot. A lot of times, as we know, you get an overshoot, makes a new high, and then it drops. Or it's also possible the channel just might be a bit bigger. But just for now, I'm going to leave it there and assume we've had an overshoot. Just stops me jumping straight into a long. I've just put a few little notes on my screen. You know, things like think before taking a trade. And another little one, take a trade, look left. I got into a trade last week. It was down here, and I hadn't looked left where we hit a bottom area, and it never came down. So just little things like that. So hopefully we can get back on the wagon. It is frustrating. Hey Speedy, how you doing, bud? But I kind of like the fact that I get to talk to you guys as well, because I think it's important. If you see me having my struggles, it might help you. Nothing's better than red. Nothing is better than red. I'm not sure what you mean there, mate. Nothing's better than red. You got about zero, you mean? I'm not sure you mean that. Hey, Lance, what are the dots you are using from the bottom? That there. I've just put that there as I tend to now and again use areas of support and resistance, and there just seems to be a lot there. Are you on about this one or the purple one? Dots using, oh, this thing there. You on about at the very bottom, Speedy, yeah? The bottom one, okay. That is, I can help you out there. There is like a couple of legs down there, but I'm not getting in at the moment just because of the overshoot. It's a what's it called? Let me have a look. It's not free, this one. Let me have a look. I don't think. It's called Algotech. And it's called Chart Enhancer. So just Google Algotech. They let me have it for free. That's the benefits of being a YouTuber. Sometimes you get bits, they offer you bits of software. So just search for Algotech, and it's called Chart Enhancer. Anytime. That other thing I use as well, I'll just show you quickly on a sim. Let's just check everything's submitted. Coming up, sim. Yeah, this thing here.
Order filled.
If you've not got this is free as well. I don't know what I said as well, but this is free, and it's called Order Line Decorator. That I find that really useful, because sometimes when you're trying to work out how much you're risking, this thing just pops up. I don't know why I'm even trying to get this to work. I seem to want to try and make. Let's get out of here. Let's get out for a
target
point.
filled.
How's it called again? The first one is called. I'll open it up for you again. Let's get back onto there a minute. So the first one is called. This is the one you got to pay for. I don't know how much it is. I don't think it's a lot. The first one's called. It's by Algotech, and it's called Chart Enhancer. And what it does is it constantly gives you your current, your lows, your open, your current high, and where the price is at the moment. So it's quite useful. It does a bunch of other things as well. So yeah, it's called Chart Enhancer by Algotech. And the other one, if you've not got that, which shows you the prices, that's free. That's called Order Line Decorator. So that's free. I find that really useful. You know, sometimes if you want to see how much, sometimes you go in and go, how much am I risking? It just tells you straight away. So it's kind of, I kind of like that. So that might be a short there. I'll be surprised if that doesn't come down here. There is a break, and oh, there's already a break and a new low, sorry. But I'm not getting into a trade here, just in case there is an overshoot. and it comes down. Get caught out here sometimes, and I've had it myself. Let me have a look. Let me bring that down a bit. So it's a hard choice, that one, but I think sometimes it's best to assume we've had an overshoot, which might mean this is coming down. So I had a feeling that was going to do that. So I would expect that to tick below that bar there to take out any trades, because we've got a channel down and we've got to break in a new low. So there have probably been some longs there, but because of the overshoot, I would expect them to get stopped out. Which is why I never went in. Yeah, anytime, buddy. Anytime, mate. So I would expect that to tick below that bar there, because if you're going to go long there, that's probably the one you're going to take. I'll be shocked if that doesn't stop that out. It's bound to. So we've got a channel break, new high. Let's see what happens here. I'm really shocked that, or did it take that stop out? I think it might have done. No, it didn't. I'm surprised it never ticked below there. Okay, so we touched here, That then is a small break. There's nothing that says it's not going to continue up, but I think sometimes it's safe to assume that there's an overshoot, because if there is an overshoot, a lot of times it'll do that. It'll come down, it'll tease you in and then drop down. I've had it before myself, so I tend to stay out of this. So I'd say this is likely turning into some form of a range. Sorry about the dogs barking. Parcels delivered left, right, and centre at the moment. So it's a bit hard to work what's going out here. I've gone from there to there, and it does look like it. I mean, you could drag that out there, and it sort of works as well. But then we've had a break here, so I'm just going to pull that back in. See, in all fairness, it's only really touched a couple of times there. It's touched a couple of times if I drag it out, but I'm just going to leave it there just for now. Because it just reminds me. But we've had a break anyway, so a break and an attempt at a new high, but we've had a matching high, so leg up, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower. So we've got yesterday's high up here, so I wonder if we're going to get two legs and then some more upward stuff. Okay, so we've had a leg up, we've had one attempt to go lower, possibly a second attempt to go lower, so 1, 2. If we can get down here, maybe a triple test to go higher, but because of this, I'm just a bit cautious. Market's very clever at making your life miserable. Leg, possibly a leg. Loafer, yeah, I agree, mate. It has been hard lately. I've got to say, so many trades that used to work just don't as much. I don't know if anybody else has known that. I mean, there was something yesterday. I'm just going to leave this here. There was something yesterday. It was like a leg down. I can't remember what it was. There was 2 lovely clear legs up in it. But there was a trade that I got in. I got out of break even. And when I looked, Mac marked it as a bit of a range, which made a bit of sense because I was a bit miffed as to why it didn't work. But so we got a leg up, 1 attempt to go lower, 2nd attempt to go lower. So let's have a look at this. I'm not convinced that is an overshoot because if you move that up, it sort of works equally as well, doesn't it? So we got a touch here, touch here. I'd say actually that's not too bad. So there is a possibility now we could push up. That's kind of a nice 2 legs back. I would have preferred it to come down another tick. It's not reacting as an overshoot. No, it's not. That's why I've moved it. We got 2 legs back. I think it was an overshoot. It would have done this and then dropped, wouldn't it? But it's holding here. So I always like to assume it's an overshoot. It just makes me be a little bit cautious about jumping straight into a long. But yeah, I agree it's not, which is why I've moved it a bit because it kind of fits okay with that. And if you look at this, it doesn't look overly odd, does it? Okay, so try to go once, try to go twice. There's a possible failure. Be nice to see that. Touch here and then fail. I'd like to see that come down a little bit further before pushing up. I was also thinking yesterday about this decision to just do 1 trade, come what may. I think what I'm probably going to do is just do 2 maximum, and no more. Okay, maybe 1, 2. You could call that a triple test, but it is a little bit congested there. I would prefer that to come down a bit further. It never triggered anyway, so I'm just a bit. You should have the second entry. The second end entries. You should have the second entries indicator. In fact, do you know what? I had an email from a guy yesterday. Okay, so that's kind of good. I had an email from a guy yesterday from, is it Wisdo? Wisdo, I think, and he does a second entry indicator, and there's different sounds within it as well, and he offered me to use it for free. So I might download it and have a play with it first, because I tend to only have things, because people offer you stuff all the time, and they offer you commissions and all that, but I'm not going to use something just because you get commissions. I'll use something if I think it's useful or it's going to help me, because I don't want to. You guys, I'm not trying to force you guys to do things that I don't think would be useful. I think it's called Wisdo. which is a bit unusual. But it is a second entry indicator, and you can there's sounds as well, so you don't have to have stop filled or something like that. You can change it. But I do kind of like to look at my own sort of, I mean, there is a second entry long there, but I don't like the bar. I'm not sure at the moment. See, this does look like it's starting to drop. It might just be a failed breakout, but who knows? But there is 2 legs back there. But it may just drop, so it may be an overshoot. I don't know, it's hard to say. Or it might just be the fact that we've had a break and one attempt to go higher and this is looking like a possible channel, I think. So I think maybe that overshoot is valid. Let me just bring that back a minute, because that would make sense. I mean, we touched here. I mean, it's no better than that, but it would make sense why this is coming down, because, as we know, overshoots don't necessarily come straight down. Sometimes they'll push up, make a new high, try and make a new high, and then drop. But I did agree it didn't look like it was, because it looked like we were just going to have 2 legs and then move up. But there was, I thought some may take that, but it's looking a bit congested to me, and I'd much prefer it when they drop out and then reverse. But it is looking like a bit of a channel there, so I think the safest thing to do is just to sit tight and leave it alone. But I thought for a minute we might get 2 nice legs and then a push up. I mean, there's certainly 3.5 points, 4 points from top to bottom, so there's enough to get a bit of profit. Yeah, there's 4 points. So, let's just put that there and see where this comes to. Yeah, so I feel we got a leg up. In fact, let me just put that back for a minute. I don't think it matters a great deal. So we got a break here, so we may get just a bit of a pullback before we go again. Who knows? But there is a possibility that we could have a leg. If that leg comes up and hits yesterday's highs, we'll see. So there is a possibility of sort of a bit of a pullback, followed by some more upward sides, but that's just guesswork at the minute. It's always possible we get something like this, isn't it? Okay, so I did drop that from there to there, and was okay. So let's see if this holds on that line. It looks like it might. Okay, so that's okay. So I'm quite happy that's channel there. So if I look on the 10,000 tick chart, sorry about that. Where are you? There we are. Look on the 10,000 tick chart, we've had that leg up, and we've come back to the EMA, so it'd be interesting to see now if we push up and have another leg. So maybe a leg. So this might be like a penguin style trade leg up. One attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, followed by some more upwards. what I will do is occasionally I do take penguin style trades, but if I do, I will go down to one contract because sometimes his risks are a little bit more. I have got a one contract in there. But I definitely think it's worth having extra strings to your bow, and I do like his style, the penguin guy. He makes a lot of sense, his trades. They're quite clear. Okay, let's see if we get a break here. So yeah, I mentioned earlier, I might just let myself have a maximum of 2 trades a day rather than just the one. I mean, if I start off 15 minutes and I take a trade, so I might stop myself from having an opportunity. But generally, when I start up, I don't often lose one after that because I just get extra cautious. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I do one trade and it's a winner, I'm technically as good as done for the day, and I'm quite happy with that. One win on this on 2 contract would be $200. I mean, $200 for a day, 20 days a month. You know, the potentials to earn. I'll be more than happy with $2,000, which is the equivalent of only $500 a week. So you really only need to get 2.5 winning trades a week, which is not a great deal. Okay, so we've had this. You may call that a bit of an overshoot. I don't know. It is possible, but I don't think so. Because it came further down there. So this is a break. Maybe we come down, or maybe who knows. What I will say, there's sort of like a failure looking on the 10,000 tick chart. Leg down, another leg down. It's possible we get another leg down would take us around about this 50% area, which is somewhere around about here, leg and a leg. So interesting. So leg, possible leg, who knows. So channel down, one attempt to go higher. Let's see if we get another attempt, retest this bottom, then I'll be interested in going short there, but it may not give us that opportunity. I'd like to go up again, try again. Push back up and have another go. Go on. Yeah, that might not be a bad penguin-style trade. I'd have preferred that, though, to outstrip that, basically. A leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. Can you help me size in for a 50,000 account? I'm back to Apex for a long time. In all fairness, I think the sensible thing to do would be to trade one contract. I'm trading a bit more. It's just, I don't know how I've decided to do it. I'm just being a little bit particular and taking a few more trades, a few less trades. But I would say the sensible thing to do. I mean, ask other people in here what they think, but I would probably say for a $50,000 account, if it's a PA account, I would say one contract. If it's an evaluation, I tend to think 2 is perfectly fine. So that's what I would say. It depends how long you've been trading as well. If you've been trading a couple of years or if you're quite new, and just try and concentrate on the what I'm trying to do is concentrate on the process, not the money. Try and forget about the money. So I think it's good to have a full-time job and not rely on the money and let it sort of build organically. I don't think that's a bad place to take a trade myself.
Order submitted.
It's gone without me anyway, I think.
Order filled.
Okay, he got me. It does look like a penguin style trade. Leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, failure. I think that's okay. It's more risk than I wanted. I would expect that to break a new low from there. But I don't like what it's doing. I'm going to get out for break even +1. No, I think that's okay. No, let's just get out. It's going a bit sideways for me.
Target filled.
Yeah, it's going a bit sideways. Not a massive fancy. We've got this leg down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher, and I took that one. I would expect that to get out because it is 2 legs up, attempts up, and it's retesting this. It's probably going to work, but I don't like it when it goes sideways. Let's see if I'd have got me 2 points. Let's put that there. Sometimes if you're not sure, it's just good to get out. I think it's going to work. But I don't like it when it does this. It almost teases you to get in and then shoots up. But we've come down. We made one attempt to go higher. Second attempt to go high. Failure. It's pushed below the EMA. It's just more of a risk than I wanted, really. I preferred for that to tick one tick above there and then use that where my short was, which would have been about a 2 3/4 point risk. It's probably going to work. I just don't like it when it starts to go sideways, and it is a little bit. I think with a stop up here, it would have been pretty safe, but it's. I don't really want to risk 3.75 points. It's a little bit too much. Hey, Lance, that was the right decision. Regards. Yeah, I think so. Sometimes if it goes sideways, the thing about getting out, if you get out, you can guarantee you're not going to lose a penny. And if you're doubting things, see. Whether you had the overshoot or not, I don't know. But what I will say is we've got a channel down. We've made one attempt to go higher. And we've come back down. We've made a second attempt to go higher. And if you look there, what I like about that is, one, it's a penguin style trade, first one. And that push below the EMA. Also, it's made 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts on the underside of that range. And then push through the EMA. So you would expect that to come down but to these lows. Touch. Possible second entry there. I mean, it's looking like it. You just don't know, though. But I think sometimes I took it there and it's gone down, up, and it's clearly going sideways. So I think sometimes you're just best off get out of it. It wasn't far away from, I'd say it was probably tick and a half. Let's have a look. So, yeah, you got a tick and a half out of it, but I don't particularly want to take a 3.5 point risk. Let's get rid of that. So I got out anyway, so let's get rid of that. Yeah, so it was a good decision to get out of that. See, it's a leg down. One attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Perhaps I just got that wrong. It's a bit congested. I'm just looking on the Penguin Discord, see if anybody took it, but that was a good decision to get out of that. So I'm surprised. Leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. I thought that was going to come down for sure. Just goes to show this market doesn't operate as cleanly as it used to be. It's just a lot more damn confusing. It's just choppy, isn't it now? See, what I liked about this is we touched here 4 times, tried to get up, and then all of a sudden it dropped below the EMA. Perhaps that's the better penguin style trade, who knows? I ain't getting in now. It's just choppy now, isn't it? I think that would have been better if that was the bearish bar. December is a worth month to trade. I don't know, it's just December. It's been bloody awful all the time, to be honest with you. I'm going back sort of 18 months. It seemed easier. The setup seemed easier. There was more of them. The setups were more obvious. You know, it just... I mean, I don't know how these things work. I don't know how the markets work. I mean, you know, they say the market's run by algos. I thought the market works by if more people are buying, it goes up. If more people are selling, it goes down. And I thought it was purely down to, you know, the balance between the buyers and sellers. But from what I hear, it's not always. So I don't, you know, I don't quite know. Who knows? That's the trouble when you're not in the sort of in the circle of the professional traders who work for the city banks. Okay, so we got a leg down, we got a break, few attempts lower. So I'd say that's probably going to go up now. Yeah, because the Penguin will do another one where we say we got a leg down, we had a break, made one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, pushed higher. So there is an alga. Yeah, I'd like to look into that a little bit more. I mean, you would think in a market where you've got buyers and sellers, you would think, if there was more sellers than buyers, it would move down, and vice versa. Bracket huge. They are likely to be buying and selling using algos. Yeah. So I think really, as I'm assuming though, as we continue as traders, we develop and we sort of move with the markets. If you're trading the markets every day, you should be sort of working with them and adapting with them, and as they move. But yeah, see, look at that, it's just going up, down, up, down. It's just choppy at the moment. It's more ranging now, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, we had that leg down first time. Trades like that usually work and come down, but I think just get rid of that. If that green bar was a red bar push below the EMA, I think that would be a better option. But there's 4 bars stacked, and I took that one, didn't I? So perhaps the fact that they're a bit stacked may have just sent it a bit choppy. I don't know. I mean, it's calling it an educated guess. That's about as best as I can do it. I am sort of monitoring Penguin and his style of trading, because I think he's got something, and I thought that was a little bit more clear cut, but I think I can't see anybody else on the Facebook group who've posted it, so I'm guessing that maybe it's still probably a bit congested. But when the bit that got me interested more, when it touched that 4 times and rejected, I thought after that was going to come down for sure to break these lows. But there we go. We're constantly moving and developing and learning and making mistakes and stuff, aren't we? So even 1-2 months ago, the market is still better than it. Yeah, it went through a stage, if I remember rightly, leading up to September. And when September hit, it seemed to work okay. There was more. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed to go through a bit of an area where there was a lot more setups, and it was quite surprising. I had 3 setups in one day. I hadn't had that for months. 3 nice setups and 3 nice trades in a day. But what I will say is I think, the chance of getting 1 good setup in a day is probably about 90%, isn't it? Maybe a bit more, but the trouble is, looking at it after, so we had that leg up there, and then there was 2 legs. You could call that high or low there, couldn't you? Which I think at the time, as we've pushed up, probably wasn't that bad of a trade, and it worked, didn't it? But obviously that was before most of us were here. Failing that, really, there's a failure there. But look at all the support. You just don't know whether it's going to trigger you and push up. So there's nothing you can take, really. And then ever since I took that one and got out, it's gone down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's just gone choppy. But I think at the end of the day, the way I see it, you'll always get maybe 3 or 4, let's say even 3, good clear setups. And if you can pick on those 3 from what I'm doing, 2 contracts, that's $600 a week. It doesn't sound like a huge amount, because bearing in mind, we're only really trading with $2,500. But obviously, we got the luxury of being able to have multiple accounts. Has somebody else taken it? Maybe they have. Let's have a look. Okay, so I've got this the wrong way around. I thought I might have done. This is someone who's taking a Penguin trade. So we had a leg down, 1-2 pushes up, so there was nothing there. So as we had a break, we had 2 attempts to go lower. And then when we had that big bar there, that was the trade. I'm going to have to read a bit more, because sometimes he'll say we've had 1 attempt to go, we've had a break, 1 attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. But occasionally we have a break and 2 attempts to go lower before we go up. So that can be a bit confusing. So I'm going to have to read a little bit more of that before I take any more of those trades. But somebody took it and it worked for somebody. So after that, we had 2 attempts to go lower. We had a break. We came down. 2 more attempts. So I think somebody took that one. Let me have a look. Was it that one? No, it was that one there. That one there, and I think that was, let's say, 13 ticks. They're out before that, and rightly so, because oh yeah, they did get out, but it did come down a tick more. I don't know whether Penguin gives it an extra tick or 2, does he? Who knows? The last 2 days of trading kill me. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Because setups were scarce, I literally forced in trade. Yeah, I lost 2 PAs. I know exactly how you feel, bud. I know exactly how you feel. It is frustrating, isn't it? We're sat here, aren't we? And you're looking for trades, and and it's like, what the hell are people taking if there's no setups? How is the market moving? Obviously, there's many different ways to trade the markets, isn't there? Some traders may get in and think 2 legs down, let's buy here. Excuse me, and sit on it for a part of the day, bring it to break even or whatever, and see what you can get. But there are many different ways to trade the market. I would say, judging by this, there's a good chance we're going to go higher. But yeah, it is frustrating, and it's very, very hard not to force a trade sometimes because you're constantly looking for something. But I remember I had an email from Mac for a question I put to him maybe a year ago, and he said, Don't look for reasons to take a trade. Look for reasons to not take a trade. So if I'm looking at a trade here, what would make it a bad trade? And that type of thing. You know what I mean? Look for that. But yeah, sometimes my patience is brilliant. I can sit there for 4 hours and not take a trade, and I can walk away really happy, really contented, and fine. Robin, no trades for Penguin. Yeah, you trade Penguin, do you, Robin? I think you do, don't you? Yeah, in all fairness, really, it is a bit choppy, isn't it? If you do, Robin, quick question. If that bar there would have been a big bearish bar dropping below the EMA, that would have been a trade to take, I'm sure, wouldn't it? Channel down, 1 attempt to go high, 2nd attempt to go high. If that one was a nice big bearish bar that broke below the EMA, I'm assuming that will be a trade to get out before the bottom. But yeah, it is hard sometimes not to force a trade. You naturally just, there's money laying around and we naturally sort of want a piece of it. But it's, I get days where I feel really comfortable and really patient. And then days where I struggle a little bit. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. So if I look at the 10,000 tick chart, it does look a bit clear. We got a leg up. We got 1 attempt to go lower, maybe a second one. There's multiple attempts to go lower anyway, and then we've pushed up strongly. So if we can get maybe a couple of legs back and then a possibility there. So I'm not sure whether there's a bigger channel there or whether we've just got a separate channel. It's possible, but I think it's more like a channel, and then another one starting here. Sometimes I think you're better off focusing on the smaller stuff. I tend to, draw too big too quick. That fits nice on the back. So let's see if we come to the side here, have a couple of legs down. I put that there because I like where it hits, and obviously that plays a certain part as well. So there is sort of a second entry, but it's a bit congested here. But I suppose you could, if it comes down, maybe sort of fade it, who knows. We've pushed up anyway. interesting to see what happens here. I would much prefer it to come down here. Okay, excuse me, just for 1 second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay, let's have a look. Maybe that's a bit further this way, so if we can get a higher low here, maybe. I think there's a good chance we can go up here. We got a leg up, break, a couple of legs back. Let's see. I'll let this go, and I want to tell you something as well. Something I'm looking at the moment. A way of thinking. Okay, leg. I think this is looking like it's going higher. I really want a higher low, though. I don't want to just jump in, because every time you do decide to just jump in because it looks right, you get stitched. Leg up. I could get a decent move here. Like a higher low, so I want that to come down and break below there and then push up. Tell you what this is in a second. Leg. See if we can get a higher low here. Got to be careful here though, because we've pushed up, made a break. So okay, what I was going to say about this, let's make this a bit bigger. I feeling we're going to get a break there. Just too risky that for me. It's way too far from the MA. I had a few days off. Sorry you've covered this, Lance, but why didn't Apex honour the flatten sent from your mobile? I don't know, mate. I don't know. It said processed 3 minutes after I finished trading because I looked at the time that the internet went down, so I don't know. But Daryl Martin said to me, you can download the Apex. I've got it on my phone. Rhythmic. You can download Rhythmic and do it from there. So I'm going to open a discussion over the weekend about that because it's something we need to know. Because at the end of the day, you know, we've got to think about this as a business. If stuff goes wrong and you've got 10 or 20 accounts, it can get very pricey if things go wrong. It's stamped. So how do they avoid? I don't really know, mate, to be fair. I mean, on the one side of it, it never triggered. Fortunately, if I take a trade, I take it down here or up here if I open it. So, you know, I give it a chance to be able to sort it out. But I don't know why it didn't work. But I am going to open up a discussion over the weekend. And I'm going to cover that. And what I'd like, it would be nice for someone in Apex to make a quick video on what happens if the internet does go down or what happens if something freezes, what we can do. So whether they show us on an app. But I think it's important because it can get quite pricey when you start talking about multiple accounts. And, you know, I know Apex go on, you know, they're a business. They try and cover all, you know, sort of cross, dot the I's and cross the T's. And we have to do the same. I misunderstood. The trade was executed. No, it wasn't. It was a pending trade. So it was just, you know, it was just
Order
sat down
submitted.
here, and then me what's it died. But I went straight in, and apparently it's supposed to get rid of any trades that are live and any trades that are sat pending, and it didn't. The timestamp was 3 minutes. So when I watched the video, when it died 3 minutes later, the timestamp said process because I went straight in on my phone. But then 45 minutes later, when the internet came back on, I went back to my PC. The trade was still showing. Yeah, correct. It wasn't, but it was pending. And I'm sure someone said to me, any orders that are pending, because if you have Rhythmic up and you have a pending order, I believe it shows. But if something goes wrong and you've got a pending order, that's just as dangerous because it's sat there waiting to be triggered. And if you can't shut it down or get to it, you know, I know we have our stops and all that, you know, set, but it's besides the point. If you've got 20 accounts and you're risking, you know, 3 points, that can make it really costly. So I'm going to open up discussion on one of the Facebook groups over the weekend. And we'll try and get a few answers as to what works, because, you know, I don't want to wait for the problem to happen again before I do something about it. Okay, so we've got a leg up, a few legs back, and another leg up, bit of sideways and a break. So I'm wondering whether we're going to end up doing something like this. I think it's possible. Let's put it like that just for a minute. But it can get really costly if stuff goes wrong. Oh, let's leave that a minute. Okay, I'll come to this in a minute. Yeah, so I'm of the understanding that any orders sat on here, whether it's triggered or pending, you can close down through Rhythmic. Now, I thought when you go into your account and click flatten, that's how they get it to flatten NinjaTrader through Rhythmic. That's my understanding of it. But I will say Rhythmic, in my opinion, is a pain in the arse. It seems to be riddled with problems that keep showing their ugly face. And now, luckily, was it about two months ago? quite a lot of people got stitched up. Now, fair dues to Apex, they do, they do straighten accounts. So that's a good thing. So that's one of the things I like about Apex. But you still don't want stuff to go wrong, really. So leg back, are we going to get another leg back? I don't think there's anything larger there. It's always possible. There is a possibility, but it's just a bit early at the moment. What I was going to say anyway, so when you've got, it's just another way I'm thinking, somebody mentioned to me, when I'm taking a trade, and that trade I took, my risk was, hey Sam, how you doing, bud? Can close trade on that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at it. I did download the Rhythmic app, but it's not very clear. So I'll have to have a look at that. They have never helped me once. Apex problems have always blamed me. Yeah, I think if it happens to lots of people, they tend to do something about it. If it happens to a few, they don't, which I think is wrong. If there are problems, started speaking on my stream also helps the thoughts for sure. Yeah, it does, mate. Yeah, it does. Hopefully grow my channel a bit. Yeah, good on you, mate. Good on you. Some people it helps. It helps me, I think. But I'm going to open up discussion and find out for sure, really, because we need to, we need to look after ourselves. Anyway, what I was saying about this is, if you take a trade and you're risking, say, $200, straight away you're thinking you're risking $200. When really you're not risking $200, because to get this PA account has cost me $140 for the PA account, $15 for the evaluation. So to be able to run this account has only cost me $155. So if I take a $250 risk, I'm risking really 10% of the drawdown. So I'm really only risking 10% of that, because that's all it's cost me. So I'm only risking $15. Do you see what I mean? Somebody mentioned to me that, you're not really risking 200 because all you've put into it is that. So I try and remember that when I get into a trade, and if it loses, all I've really lost is $15. When you do the chat, Lance, can you ask anyone has managed to keep a PA account for more than 6 months? Okay, you've done it, mate. Yeah, anybody managed to keep a PA for longer than 6 months? I've had one for 3 months before. But I haven't done that. I haven't done any more. Hopefully, yeah, you've done well. You need to get, yeah. Forget making money on YouTube, bud. You won't do it. I think you average about £15 a month. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it to make money on YouTube. You need to have hundreds of thousands, really. But they do make you monetize, but you don't make much. About £15 a month, something like that. But yeah, you don't make much. You need to have, I think, hundreds of thousands. I don't know, a lot anyway. But it doesn't even bother me anymore, really. That. Let's have a look here. Are we? Have we got another channel here? Yeah, I used to look all the time to get subscribers, but I think it was just more out of the curiosity that people actually listen to me. I thought people would get bored and just go, oh, shut up, mate, or whatever. But I mean, I did this for me, really, to help me. But I kind of like the fact that, people, I get messages, people saying, yeah, I like what you said. I'm going through the same stuff as well. So I like the fact that I'm talking about what I'm going through. And obviously you guys can relate. So I think sometimes if you talk to other people and you realise everyone's going through the same stuff, it helps you a bit. You don't tend to think, oh, it's just me, I'm crap, or this, that, and the other, No, good to know, Lance. You're only using us. Sorry, mate. It had to come out in the end, didn't it? No. See, you guys have held me accountable. You guys have very, very rarely seen me do something stupid. So there was 2 reasons I did it. 1, because it makes me accountable, and 2, I know you're joking, mate, I know. And 2, when I first started trading under a currency trader called Andrew Lockwood, he said to me, surround yourself with people you want to be like. Which is another reason why, and I love chatting with people. You know what I'm like. I'm naturally a chatty person. You might not have noticed, but I'm guessing you probably have. But I like chatting with other people because it helps me, and if it helps you, and it's just good to, because you sat in a room by yourself, it's boring as arse. So I love chatting with other people. You guys are like my work colleagues. Well, you are my work colleagues. I spend, 3.5 hours a day with you, chatting with you. And that's why I do it. But otherwise, it's just so boring doing it by yourself. Yeah, interesting point of view to PA. But price to fresh. Yeah, absolutely. The account grows. Yeah. At that initial bit, see, you're only really risking what you've put in. Once you start to get some money, I'd say because obviously, really, we start on 0, don't we? The drawdown's not our money, but then when we get to, say, $2,600, yeah, it becomes ours. But let's have a look. Possible second entry long gear. I'm just not sure about this. We touch, and we've come off the top, but we haven't gone that far this time round. So that makes me about nervous about going long there. Although it does look like 2 legs, but it's almost going like that there, isn't it? Which is, we go up and go that angle. I'm not sure about that. It's become an addictive trading. Is that what you mean, trading? Yeah, trading can be addictive. If you think about it, it's exactly the same as gambling. We're betting on an outcome. And when you're doing it for a living, it's very easy to get that urge to do it. I've had it myself. I get it myself sometimes. And it is a real pull to it, You've really got to try and sort of push it away is the best way I've heard it described. But I heard somebody ask that Anton Creel that question in a seminar he did, and someone says, how do you feel? You get that sort of gambling feeling. He says, it's a good question, you do, but it's about sort of pushing it away. But yeah, it's hard. It does sort of suck you in. The trouble is, it's very hard to trade and not have an element of the sort of the feel of it's gambling, because really all gambling is, if you look at gambling in the dictionary, it's just betting on an outcome, isn't it? Where there's you got a chance of losing. The only thing we've got is obviously a much better edge than gamblers. There's obviously a lot more traders out there are making money than there are gamblers. It's going a bit sideways here, so let me have a look at this. But yeah, there is what I try and do now, and I find it hard because I'm guessing a lot of you guys are like me, that trading it becomes your whole life. I was thinking about it. I was driving back from the shops early, and I was sat in my car, and I was thinking about trading, and I was like, it's all I ever think about. It really does take over your life, doesn't it? And what I want to try and do is have some sort of separation. So I've now set myself so that when I finish streaming, which is usually around about 5:30ish, that I walk away and I shut down. But what I tend to do is I look through my chart later. I get up at night. I always get up to go to the loo at night, and most of the time I watch. Looks like we've got a leg and a leg. Most of the time I watch. It's a bit congested. This I watch Mac's video at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I do that every day. But, I know it's nice to have some separation, but also you've obviously got... So what I've started doing now is not doing that and coming to me chart, 30 minutes earlier, and then matching my chart up to Max and a few others and seeing what I did right, what I did wrong, that sort of stuff. It would be nice. Milestone. I am the same. Do streaming for accountability in some company. Yeah, absolutely. I think accountability is a good one because I think you've only really seen me melt down and blow an account once. And I haven't done it on the stream because when people are watching, you don't want to look stupid because I know most of you guys now. I've been chatting to you for a year. I chat to a lot of you outside as well, maybe on Messenger or on Facebook groups. And I don't want to look stupid. Excuse me, just a second. Sorry about that. What was I saying? I like to see Marco's. Yeah, I follow Marco's. I like Marco. He's helped me a lot over the last sort of 2.5 years. I always get good, supportive comments from him. Always. And, people that help me out, I'm, always grateful. So I always watch his, I always like his stuff, and I always take good value from his bar by bar. And I always look at his chart, and I look at mine at the same time, and I look at Max and work out what I missed, what he saw, if there was anything different. And it's important to do that, I think. So I do that every day, usually late at night. But what I'm going to do now is when I finish for the day is set my stream for tomorrow and then walk away and I'm finished then. Because trading really does take over your life, and I think it's important to have a little bit of separation. Yeah, that's why I never took that one or that one. It almost looks like 1, 2, a triple test, doesn't it? But what happened? It stitched everybody up and came down. Market has got a real habit of trapping people and doing some really bloody... But the reason I never got in that is because we came to the top of this channel there, we came there, here we didn't really, did we? And then we start going sideways. So when we go sideways, a lot of times we do have a break. So some may fade that. I'm tending to avoiding those at the moment. Because there is a possibility that could come down a bit more. So it's possible we could get down a bit more. I don't know whether that's valid or not yet, but what have I missed there? Did you think Max trades yesterday were total? Yeah, yeah. The thing is, he marks them after the fact, and when you trade in real time, it's a completely different world. When you know what's going on, you can't help but not be biased. There is a higher low there. But I'm just staying out at the moment. I think plenty of people keep PAs for more than 6 months going on payouts. Yeah. Sure, if you know who it is. Yeah. I'll tell you what it is. See, you guys are in here with me and I'm here with you and we're all helping each other and we're all going through that early learning process. When I think you become successful and you start making money, you drift away, I think, from maybe the Facebook groups. And I know Daniel has. When I started here a little over 2.5 years ago, Daniel was here posting his chart and then he slowly faded away because I suppose when you're making money and it becomes your job, you spend less time around maybe the Facebook groups because most of those tend to be based around people going through the learning process and trying to grow. But there's going to be, I mean, Mac's been doing this for teaching for 12, 13 years. And yeah, there'll be plenty of people out there making money. But yeah. It does seem like it, doesn't it, sometimes? It'd be nice to chat to someone who makes at least 6 figures a year, wouldn't it? But is it a mark of my heart today? Absolutely, yeah. It's like writing a script when you know. Absolutely. What I would now, don't get me wrong. I like Mac very much, and I like what he's done for traders. He's taught us a great system for absolute peanuts. He could charge a lot more, but what I'd love to see Mac do at the end of the day is go, okay, at the time, that's a trade I would have taken, and that's a trade the best, because, you know, although he marks maybe a dozen trades, I've heard him say he only takes 2 to 3 himself, or a couple of trades himself. So I think it would be important to say, okay, after all the ones I've shown you, that's the one I would have taken, and that's the short I would have taken, just to actually show us, because sometimes you want to get in the mind of the trader, don't you? That second entry had a good signal bar on my chart. Just now bounced off my order. How did it? It took a loss. Yeah, it does hurt, mate. Yeah, it does hurt. I've just started a book again on my audio. I've got Audible on my phone. And I'll play it a little bit. I started it again last night. I've had it before, and I sort of dozed off. Where is it? Where's Audible? Where's Audible gone? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I started listening to this last night.
Good trader behaves.
That's it there. It's called Best Loser Wins.
I was always told that a good trader buys low.
So I listen to that on Audible. I just stick my earbuds in bed at night, but I did start falling asleep, so I started going to bed a bit earlier and just playing a little bit of it. Best Loser Wins. It kind of sounds like the perfect book there, doesn't it? If you make enough money, though, it shouldn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, I could have had a bit more out of this year. There was a few times where there was twice where I could have took an extra 1,000 out of 2. And on the very first one, I could have took another 1,000 after the 2 weeks, and I didn't. So I have managed to get $10,000 just out of trading accounts this year, but I could have had about another 4, I think. So it's a start. So I'm kind of glad I've made something. I'm not sure about that. There is a possibility. Maybe not. It's only really touched once, isn't it? So, I certainly think, yeah. Working on the psychological things. I think that's one of the hardest things for me. Now, most of us can trade. We've got enough skills to trade. There's a lower high there. The trouble is, the bias is upwards at the moment, so I'm not taking a trade because it could just be it could stitch up that. I think a lot of us now, I think, you know, when you've been doing this for a couple of... Mic is off. It's on. Is it not coming up? Can't hear you. Can anybody else hear me? I can hear him. Yeah, I think it might be you, but I've just checked. You can hear me. See, 5 Scottish. They're not the same as us. They're a breed of their own. You probably come back in now. What was I saying? I forget what I was saying now. What was I saying? Yeah, I think most of us... I muted you. That's probably not a bad thing, actually. Some people will say, you've done a good job there. What was I saying? Yeah, I think most of us, I think when you've been doing this a couple of years, I think you can probably pretty much get by and make money. But I can categorically say to you now, I have never blown an account that I haven't revenge traded. I haven't blown an account where I've taken what I believe to be good trades and the accounts failed. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? So if I can rule out that revenge trading, and just accept whatever will be, then that is the time where I will start to make progress. Now, I looked at your website, Sam, a couple of days ago, and I actually dragged it in here. I gave you a bit of advertising there. And that diagram, the journey of a trader, I've seen that on something before. And I think I'll drag it in again for you don't mind, somebody. I'll drag it in again. It's your website, you don't mind. It's getting you some advertising. Where is it? Let's drag it up here so it doesn't matter. Where are you? No problem, mate. Yeah, I'll drag it in. I think it's important to see this. Let's go onto your website. Sam has got a website. He sells women's underwears and stuff like that. He doesn't. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. Let's bring that in. Okay, so this is Sam's website, 5trader.com. So let's just drag this out of the way in the picture there. So it's important to look at this because that is how I started. I started initial win with euphoria. So that's when I stuck a ton of money in it. Okay, so that's what happened next, as you can see. But then you make a bit of money, you make a bit, you lose a bit, you make a bit, you lose a bit, you make a bit more, and then you get to that point where you think, and I think I'm at this level now. It's a great diagram, yeah. I'm at this level now where I've asked myself the question, when's enough enough? Do I keep carrying on? Do I keep, what do I do? Is this something... And I've been thinking about that quite a bit lately, but then I still come back to this thing that's saying, no, I'm not the type of person that gives up if I really want to do something. And then hopefully we come from quit or continue till it starts working. So once I think you get to that low where you get that basically pissed off with messing up, I think something changes and you start to play the game right. And that's when you start to see something working and you're thinking, right, okay. And I think what it is, sometimes, now we got 2 dogs. I was trying to teach my one dog to give you a paw, and it took him about a year. And he just did not get it. Now, that's all he ever does. So I think it's, when you do something enough, sooner or later, your mind starts to change, because we're all quite stubborn and we all get set in ways. No more stubborn than me. I'm a real stubborn. But something starts to change and you just follow the rules. And then when you do, you start to get some success. And then I think you get that elation that go, actually, I think I'm finally doing it. And then you start to get to break even. And someone told me once, when you get to break even, that's when you can say, now I'm making it as a trader, because once you've lost all that money, and we've all lost money, let's face it, once you get to break even, you've made all that money back. And I think it's easier to make money when you've got it all back than it is down here, because you know what it's like. If we start an account and we're $1,000 down, it's even harder. It's much more of a harder slog just to get to break even. And when you get to break even, that's where you start to feel better. So I think I'm in this area. I've had my bits of success, and that's probably right, actually. I've had $2,000, I've had $4,000, I've had $4,000. And I've been doing okay, but I keep hitting this wall, and I have been asking myself, do I carry on, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's a really good... and when you look at that, it makes perfect sense. Then obviously break even, and then optimism. Is that optimism? So it's more optimism, maturity, and then obviously success. But it is a tough journey, and it is a tough journey. It's a journey, I believe, that every trader goes on in some form. Some people might get out of this a little bit quicker. Some people may take a bit longer. But I think that's important there to look at that, because if you are stuck down here, then, there is a way out, so don't sort of beat yourself up. And I think it's important to, do all that stuff. I am as well, bud. Absolutely. That's why I don't think you can tell someone how to trade. They need guidance. And I think you've ultimately, because we've all heard the story, human beings aren't born with the capability to be good at trading. Our minds don't react that way. You know, if someone takes something off us, we want it back. Not only do we want it back, we want it back now, and we can't wait. And we tend to panic, and that's, you know, but, you know, once you get enough skills to be able to make money, you'll start to go up like that. But occasionally, as happened to me the other day, something goes wrong, you break the rules a bit, and it knocks you, shakes you, and then you drop back down. But every time I drop back down, I seem to get a little bit further. So, you know, I think eventually, it's like anything, you bang your head against a wall enough times, you realise, you know, it bleeds. And I think that's sort of part of it. It just takes time, and that banging away, and then eventually something just changes and something starts to work, and then I think you realise, that's what I've been looking for, you know. So I generally believe that. And I think there's no magic bullet to trading. I think it's purely and simply time. You have to expose your mind. You know, you get a young 17-year-old lad, you put him in an army camp and stick him in a uniform, and 6 months later he comes out a focused, fit, mentally strong young soldier. And that's what it is. That's psychology, isn't it? We know we can manipulate the body. You know, you get on a treadmill every day, you're going to get fitter, aren't you? But obviously the mind's, it's a little bit less obvious, isn't it? You know, as you're losing weight or getting fitter, it's a visual thing, but with the mind, you can't tend to see what's going on until something seems to change. That's how the casinos make. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The trouble is, even with casinos making money, occasionally someone wins a jackpot. They still continue to win money. So the casinos are making money, but they're still giving money away, and that's like our losses. But over the bigger picture, you're gonna, and I think when you eventually get that in your head, and at some point everyone will, I believe so. It's how long it takes. Obviously, depends on the person. You know, if you're one of those type of guys that can get up at 5 o'clock every morning, you know, go out for a 3-mile run, have breakfast and have a shower, take the dog for a walk, get to work bang on time. And, you know, he's one of the, some people are just mentally focused. Excuse me, that's not me. I'm driven, but I have got a, what's the word? My sort of self-control a bit sometimes takes a bit of work. You know, I've always been a believer you can do everything you want. And what I will say is, we don't need that, I think. What I will say is, when you do eventually succeed at this, just think how good you're going to feel. And you are one of the few. Not many people do this, and you'll be earning more money than most. And how good are you going to feel? And you're going to feel pretty special. And rightly so, because you've literally, you know, trampled to the edge of the world and back, you know, through all those emotions and all them tears and all them frustrated, pissed off times you've punched a wall or punched a screen in my... if you stick to it, it's just a matter of moulding that mind and keeping working on that mind. And, you know, you knock someone enough times, sooner or later they'll start to change. Psychology on top of which casinos, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy, but yeah, you will do that. But yeah, I love that diagram. I'd get a picture of that if I was you. I saw it somewhere, maybe a year or so ago, or somebody showed me it, but it does make real sense, and it is nice to see something, you know, a diagram. You know, it's, you can explain to people, but it's nice to see something visual that, oh yeah, okay, now that makes sense. So have a look at that. And I dragged it in, as I say, I dragged it in a couple of days ago because I thought it was really useful sort of visual aid. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I can smell cake. Somebody has been cooking downstairs, so we've got a relation who's Jewish, not massively Jewish, but and he's getting a bit old now and that, so we've made him a Jewish apple cake. So, well, we've made 2 actually. So we're going to take him one round this evening, but I can just smell one that's come out of the oven. and it's plaguing me. So I'm going to leave that like that and just pop on. What do you think of this, Sam? You like that? That's for when I win a trade. I've got that one as well, just for closer to Christmas. But I'm just going to put my, where's my back in 5? There we go. Okay, so you like those, Sam? Keep that for when I win a trade. So, okay, quick 5-minute break and I'll be back. Okay. Okay. Is this a channel and a break? We had something earlier, didn't we? And it didn't make a new low. You are going on about self-control, etc. And you are away for cake. I had a small bit. I got a cup of tea. I have stuck a bit of weight on there. I'm about 15.5 stone at the moment. I am, mind you, I'm about 5'11", but I have been eating a little bit better the last couple of days, apart from the cake. So we got leg up, pull back, leg up. Are we pulling back and going up again? There's always the possibility of let's have a look. Let's see what we got from Mac. We got anything yet? Yes. Ooh, Replicanto update. Ooh, lovely. Okay. Yeah, that's max chart at the moment. So leg up, sideways, leg up, pretty much what we're seeing really, isn't it? So I got rid of that anyway. So yeah, leg up, sideways, leg up. I think, did he have a... Oh, I hate that. Yeah, sideways, up, sideways. So actually it doesn't look too bad, does it? It's touching along there, isn't it? You've got to be careful though. Sometimes they'll just stitch you in and then come down, because we have got a bit of a leg down here. There's a second entry short there. So if we can break below there, maybe a long opportunity there. That's assuming we are going to continue up. So if we go from there to there, and then from there to there, there's a possibility we could get up above yesterday's high. So maybe a failure here. Let's see if it traps that short. It's kind of fitting nice there. So that's a possibility, but it is a possibility. I want to see this. I'd like to see that trigger, really. That will get us up to the same place. See if there's triggers. The new ATM, excuse me, for Replicanto 1.5 looks good. I'll have a look later. I noticed I've just got the an email for it. I noticed yesterday, actually. Okay, so there is a second entry short there. I don't know why you'd take the short, but someone might. But I don't like the fact that that's just sitting there. But it is touching on that line multiple times, so... trouble is, you could go long there and have your stop there. That's 8 ticks there, so it'd be 9, 10. 8, 9, 10, 11. Not sure about this. See what happens when this breaks above here. The trouble is, if you put your order there, there's barely a point to the top. If you put your order 1 tick above there, there's not even a point. So I just can't take anything really. It's a bit congested. So there's nothing there, unfortunately. So we had this leg up here, we had a break and a couple pushed up to a new high. And we've had sort of a couple of legs down. We've had a break. We haven't made a new low from this channel, so one would think we'll be continuing on up. Just wondering whether that's not a bad place to take it. It's quite a small risk there, isn't it?
Order submitted.
See how this finishes.
Order cancelled.
Okay, it's definitely some sideways stuff there. Pushed up sideways, pushed up sideways. Let's remove that just for a minute. Push up sideways seems to be the story of the day so far. Leg. Trouble is, we're looking for a leg and a bit higher there, and we came right the way down, didn't we? So. Yeah, I'm going to start a discussion on one of the Apex Facebook groups over the weekend, just covering about what happens if the internet goes down, because obviously mine didn't clear, and fortunately for me, market was coming down and it was just getting further away from my order. I mean, I definitely think it's important to open an order up here out the way, or down here, depending on where things are going. Just in case, because we know things go orange now and again. I don't even know why that does that. So leg down. So leg down. It was a great long trap. See, most breakouts fail, as we know. Just going to put that back again, just in case that does come into play. I think we're beyond that now. Now we're beyond it, aren't we? It's just not making sense again, is it? Yeah, actually, someone did take a trade here short. A penguin trade, leg down. That's it there. We had that leg down. One attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. They came in a bit earlier there and got out, I think. Or did they? So perhaps it was. But I don't think. So we had that leg down. Yeah, I don't think the bars were particularly great. Okay. Maybe this is just a bloody big range day. Let's put that there for now. You almost went long at 45.86 and did it early. I'm just not sure whether it's fizzling out going long here. We tried here a bunch of times and then we did go up, but we went sideways and we tried a couple of times, didn't we? And then it just dropped pretty quickly. So I don't think there's any other type of channel anywhere, really. Not really. I think it is just turning rangy, whether we bounce here or come back down, who knows. Took profit here. Good on you, mate. I'd like to see a break here. The trouble is, in these range days, well, we've had two legs up and a bearish-ish bar. They haven't really been working. They've been just pushing up. So Okay, let's see if it bounces here. Channel break, new low. I won't be surprised if this triggers and comes down a bit more. Maybe hoping there may have been a higher low there, but it never ticked below. Okay, are we going to push up from here, or are we going to have a couple of attempts? Leg up a little bit sideways here. I think it's more likely to have another leg up. Especially after the break and getting close to these lows. Yeah, I think it's likely that's going to get up to the midline, or at least. Let's see what happens now. That's triggered. Leg up, leg up. It could come down. I have a feeling it's going to go up though. Sometimes these will just drop, don't they? Yeah, it's hard to say. If you look at that 10,000 tick chart, that looks like a perfect leg down. We've got it as a small break here, but it's sort of a perfect leg down, that. See, possibility of a sort of a visual second entry short there, but you'd have to wait for the lower high, really, wouldn't you? Because if it triggers you, it's sort of triggered a failure. I don't think it's going to. Yeah, this. I mean, this could just trap some longs and come shooting down, or it could just rocket them up. I got no idea. Looks like we're moving up. Let's have a look. So there is a possibility of a leg down. One attempt higher, second attempt higher, and then down again. We've tried to go up there, haven't we, when we drop, so maybe we have a couple of attempts and then come down. Who knows? Who knows? Unfortunately, there's just no setup really there. There's not even a higher low. And you wouldn't to know that it was just going to do that. It's hard to rate this today. It's after that, you thought that was going to continue on up, didn't you? But then dropped down, went a bit sideways, had another couple of attempts, and then just tanked. It's quite hard to read today. I can't see how there's any type of bigger picture there, really. No. It's doubtful, that is. Very doubtful. It might just be a push up and then a bit of a range. I don't know. It's quite hard to read today, isn't it, really? Hmm. Yeah, I noticed you had. I was just looking on the Discord. You're out, aren't you? I think. Isn't your last one about here? Unless you've moved it up. Where'd you go? Long about here, didn't you? Somewhere. Yeah, I looked at that one. I don't think it was a bad trade, actually. I preferred it a bit lower, but I think it was a pretty reasonable indicator we're going longer. And I preferred to have a higher low here or something, but there wasn't nothing really. It just seemed to. Trouble is, once it goes, you don't know where it's going to end. We could have had a leg and it may come. You know what I mean? It's hard to know exactly where these things decide to turn. That two massive legs down. It'd be nice to see a break here and then continue on up. It's a funny old day. Somebody on the short to profit midway. Yeah, I think it's always a safe bet, isn't it? Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it usually go up so far and then come back. It's doesn't often move this much really without sort of taking a break. I mean, you could argue that's a break, couldn't you? But see there, we went up so far and then took a break. But Okay, so maybe an overshoot and then a reverse. Down, up, down. I just don't like picking tops. I'm not very good at it, in all fairness. Yeah, it's not the easiest day to trade, is it? Leg up, sort of a couple of legs back, leg up. That might not have been a bad place to take a trade, who knows? It's just too far from the MA for me, that's the trouble. Second and long. Trouble is, I hate taking these that far from the MA. There's a possible overshoot. Yeah, it's not easy, is it? There's a possible overshoot. See, if you go along there, it could trap you. So if it does leave us a bullish bar, I'm staying out. It's quite close to these tops. We came very close to the bottoms, and we didn't hit the bottoms in reverse. So there's always the possibility of the same. It could just come down. It's quite likely an overshoot. We've got a touch here. So probably you could take that lower high, but you just don't know, do you? That's the trouble. Looks like it's going to move down, but the pullbacks, yeah. Because we sort of use quite tight stops, doesn't give you much room for manoeuvre, does it? See, the overshoot, you know, you may sort of take that, but you just don't know, do you? I mean, really, if you're going to pick a top after an overshoot, really, you'd want to get it at least this area, wouldn't you? At least eliminate some of the risk, but it's just, I can't get in there. Could do anything. It could rocket up. It could not. Let's see what it does with this long here. Yeah, it could do absolutely anything here. It could go up, could go down. Bearish bar, relatively bearish bar after the overshoot. Lower high there, you may have taken that one. It's triggered you. Looks like it's going to stop you out. But after the overshoot, would you go long? I couldn't. I'm not a massive fan of the bar. It's so far from the MA. It's a break, which means we've got a leg. It could come down of other legs. There's nothing really there. Nothing bar, something quite risky. I mean, who knows whether that's going to work. Yeah, it's not a very clear day, isn't it? It's quite choppy. We push up, sideways, push up, sideways, push down, and just it's hard, isn't it? There's no entries. There's nothing really there. There's no higher lows, nothing until you get to here. But then it's too far. It could trigger you and come down to here and stop you out. And there's just nothing. Okay, so we're gonna break. One attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Maybe we're gonna tank. Who knows? We've been up here once, made another attempt, then drop. We've been up here again, made another attempt. I think it's a fair chance we're going to drop again. So I'd say there's an overshoot there. Break this side, new high. So leg up, leg up. I think it's a fair chance that I'm going to come down. Who knows? Who in the hell knows? Leg up, and then down, maybe. I don't know. It's just like pissing in the wind, really, isn't it? You don't know where the hell it's going to blow back at you or not. Oh, excuse me. God, it's bloody cold in this house. Okay, just a quick bathroom break. I'll be 1 minute. Okay. What's going on here? Guys, when it gets slow, what time is it? It's 10 to 12 US time. I think there's a fair chance we could come just drop down here. Something similar to this. I think there's a good chance we're gonna drop down here. We've pushed up, a couple legs back, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. It does feel like we're in a range day. Let's see what happens here. I suppose there is a possibility we could adjust this a fraction. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Well, we have had a break and a new high by the looks of things. Hmm. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 touches on that line. However you want to call it, overshoot, break, new high, second attempt at a new high. Let's have a look. You sent me. Oh, I see what you mean. When you said that massive leg down, you meant over a bunch of days, yeah? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I need to start looking back days, don't I think. Yeah, I see what you mean. Picture. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? There's a second entry long there as well. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, it does. I need to look at the bigger chart. What time frame are you using, buddy? Are you just looking on the? Are you just looking on the 2000, but just looking back? Yeah. Let me have a look at that. Is this a 2000 tick chart? Is it? Some. Range 5 days. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. There is a second entry long there. I'm not sure what you mean, bud. Range 5. Oh, I see what you mean. So you go up into here and change it. I got you. You on about that then, yeah? Five rate. Yeah, okay. I'll have to have a look at that. Range 5. Interesting. Yeah, I see what you mean. Why can I not compress my chart properly? Yeah, Osam, answer me this. Why can I not compress this chart properly? I can scroll back that many days, but I can't squeeze it. Any idea why? Right, so what you're basically saying, we've had this big leg down, we've had this other big leg down, and we could sort of go up and up, yeah? We could do, is that what you mean? Something like that? One leg up, yeah, I think that's what you mean. We'll have to have a look at some of your optics later. Some of your pictures later. Because you have your days to load set up too low. when you say too low, I've got 7 days. Is that what you mean? What do I need them on, bud? Then I'm there, number 7, yeah? Is that what you mean? Oh, you got 20 or more. Ah, okay. Let's have a look at that. 20. I got you. So you're looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture. I got you. Okay, yeah. I still can't do it, can I? Does it take a second? I still can't do it. It won't. I can drag it, but I can't compress it. Why? Why? Oh, is it low? Oh, okay. I got you. Let's get it up there. Might just being a bit impatient. Oh, yeah, okay. Makes sense. Still not working. Loading's gone, isn't it? I can do that. I can do it just to there. But it's the same thing. I can go back like that. I'll need to get about 6 monitors lined up, don't I? Yeah, I'll have a play around with it later. Range 5. Interesting. Okay. Are we now pushing up? Unfortunately, let me have a look. It's a bit vague at the moment, isn't it? You're out. We got a big project. You take it easy, bud. One old food. I got you. Yeah, you take it easy, pal. Speak to you soon. break, leg up. 1, 2 attempts to go higher, maybe up, who knows. Second entry short. I'm not sure about this because that looks to me like a little channel, and this could be a break and make a new high. I'm just not sure about this. We'll soon find out if that triggers. Just looking at the count, yeah. Sometimes this looks like it's sucking you in. Let's see, I wouldn't be shocked if that turns tail and pushes up. I've seen these trays before. They say, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, and then they turn on you. They almost like tease you to come in. So we got bearish bar there, relatively bearish bar there, and you might get sucked in. All of a sudden, woof, up it goes. Stop-tuate. Yeah, it is interesting. I'm just looking at the 10,000 tick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over the next sort of 10, 8 or 10 days. Just going to open this up just quickly. Interesting, isn't it? You know, we got a sort of a leg and a leg. We got a leg and a leg. There's a big leg there with 1, 2 legs up, and then another big leg there. So we got a leg. We could get back up to this height here, or leg. You know, it can give us a bit of an idea. I kind of like that. We could push up a bit higher, certainly to this level and this level. Or we've got a leg up there. We could have one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, and then have a push up. Hard to say, really. But it's nice to have a bigger picture. Just may give you an indication where it's going. So the 10,000 tick chart is basically showing us we've got a leg, break, a new high, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower before we may make that big final push. Who knows? Excuse me just for a second. Okay, what time is it? How long have we got left? About 15 minutes, so. Could be a leg and up, or come down. It's hard to say, really. Let's just get that there as a possibility. So we had this, didn't we? And we just dropped, really. Let's just check. There's nothing here. Leg. And a leg. Okay. Excuse me. 2 perfect measured legs down. Let's just have a look at this. Got channel up here, say leg and a leg. There is a possibility. I'm not sure whether it will or not, but it's a possibility. Yeah, so it is possible we got a leg break new high, 1 attempt high, lower, 2nd attempt lower, and then a push up. If I look at this 10,000 tick chart over so many days, we've had a leg up. We could have a leg back, another leg up, back, and then a final push. Just going with something similar we had here, we had a leg up. We had 1 leg back, plus a push up, another leg back, and then that 2nd leg, we could get the same push up, 1 leg back, 2nd attempt to go lower, which we had there, 1st attempt, 2nd attempt, and then off it's shot. So if we do come back here, there is a possibility then that there's another push. Just going by previous patterns, same sort of thing there, 2 legs back and a leg up, leg up. We had the same thing, push up, break new high, 2 legs back and up. Push up, break new high, 1, 2 legs back and up. It's a possibility. It's just, if we do come back and bounce and start to push up, then that would make sort of sense. I think it's good to look at the bigger picture. But, we're clearly just sort of ranging really within sort of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe a 60-point range. Something like that. But it's made 2 perfect measured legs down, so I won't be thinking of taking a short here. Not to say it's not going to work, but we've got a channel up, push up, and it looks like a sort of, there is a possibility we could go higher, but it's just not very clear at the moment. Hmm. go. Just goes to show 1 minute you look like you're working down, then off it goes. 3 bars and you're up here. I mean, there is a possibility we could get right up there. Like a couple of legs down here first, though. I mean, it is looking quite bullish all of a sudden, isn't it? We got a leg up, right, new high. 80R's low again. It's moving a bit now. Absolutely. This looks like an upside down head and shoulders pattern. Shoulder, head, shoulder. There's the head, there's the shoulders. You expect that to go up, don't you? What the hell's going on here? It's possible. 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 You mean something like that? I don't think there's anything off there because it's missing all that lot out. I'm not sure about that. That kind of seems better. Maybe a spike in the channel, I don't know. Excuse me, it'd be nice to see if we can get a bouncy, a couple of legs and maybe something bullish, I mean. So damn slow, isn't it? Excuse me, it's just not very clear at all, really, is it? Maybe from 1619. Yeah, I've had a look at that. I don't think it is. It's only touched once on the top, really. And we've got this big vacant area, so I don't think it is. No, I don't think so. I might be wrong. We've bounced on here, possibly. The trouble is, by the time we get over there, you haven't got much time, much distance to the top. If you put it one tick above there, you'd squeeze a point out before the top, so I think that's risky. There is a higher low, but I think to be safe, you need it to put it one tick above that bearish bar. I just don't know, personally. I think that's risky. It could be a leg down, a couple of legs higher. And there's 3 bars stacking, so for me, I think that's a bit risky. I wouldn't get in there. It would have to be above there, but then you barely got a point to the tops. So personally, I think that's risky. I'm still not a massive fan of this. I just don't like this. There's a big vacant area there, so I think that's a bit risky personally. I'd want the channel going up this way. I'd want to be able to get some height, but that's risky. I mean, we could, there's always a possibility we could push up at quite a steeper angle, sort of from here to here. It's possible. Let's take that out of the equation. Because we've pushed up, we've been going a bit sideways, but I'm not a fan, really. Let's remove that in a minute. I'm not happy about this. Try that again. I don't know. It's possible. It would be nice. It's possible. Oh. I just don't know. It is a higher low, but it's just not pushing. I thought I thought that would push up quite strong. It may do when it gets above here, but it's just not pushing up strong enough. We've got a leg down. We could get another leg down. It might come back into here. Too big for a candle. Yeah. Well, it's really big, isn't it? You just don't know. It might work. It might not. We might have a leg down. There could be a small leg, and then down. I don't know. I'm just... It's not getting me excited. I think if that was going to push off strong, it would have done it by now. It looks to me like it's sucking longs in. I don't know, I might be wrong, but it just doesn't fill me with excitement. If that was an interesting bar when it broke there, I think it would push up a bit stronger. So for me, it's not something I want to jump into. If I bounce off the key entry point again, I'm going to consider it. You mean lower high? What you mean higher low? You're on about going long or short? See the way that's coming down there. If you got into that, you'd be shitting your pants about now, wouldn't you? Higher low, yeah. So there's a failure there, but I like a failure to trap a short, and there's no shorts trap. There may be a shorts trap there, but it's just too far from the EMA for me. I'm really not convinced about... I don't know, this looks to me like it could be a leg and it could upset some longs there. I've seen this stuff before and it just... I usually get a feeling for something and most of the time it's usually pretty right. And I'm glad I stayed out of it. But there is a high low. Trouble is we've got a channel down here, we've got a break of it. In a lot of cases you may make a new low. But I don't know, it's just looking a bit vague. It may work its way out and then start to push. If it can get above here or here, then you may get a bit more movement. But it just doesn't look like a tremendous amount of buyers in there for me, just to keep me to keep me happy. And we're running out of highs as well. Could be a leg down, a small leg and a leg, and then down we go again. I don't know, but I'm just not a massive fan of this. It's not pushing up as strong as I'd like. I wouldn't be shocked if it dropped quite quickly. Yeah, it's all right, but I get mixed up all the time. Higher lows and lower highs. Well, I think you start off with higher if you're going up. So higher low when you start with, lower if you're coming down. That's the easiest way to remember it. Higher if you're going up, so higher low, lower if you're coming down, lower high. It's not strong enough for me to go up. If that channel is right, and it may be, if you look where it's come to here, it's further away from it now, and it's further away there, and it's further away there, which tells me it's losing momentum. Now, if there was a lot of buyers in there, that would be pushing up a lot stronger. For me, that is. But if you look, you can see, depending on how you look at that. Sorry, let's go with that one. We're sort of coming away from this, aren't we? So, and I can't see any other type of channel there, so sometimes it does that, and it sucks you in, and I've seen it so many times. You know why? I know, because I've been stuck in them so many times, and all of a sudden, boom, down it drops. There's probably some longs in there. There's certainly some longs in there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes you'll just, when it's moving slow, it's almost teasing you, and then down it comes. I'll be really surprised if that doesn't get stopped out, put it that way. But it might just want a better bar to before it encourages some longs in. I mean, you could see a leg down. You could say that was a second entry short there, which is triggered, so it might go the other way. But when it's moving really slow for me, it just makes me a bit nervous. And yeah, it's coming further and further away, isn't it, from this top line sometimes. That often makes a difference. Best way to learn, really, is just to get trapped, isn't it? End up getting stuck, and then all of a sudden, when you're in that position before, something doesn't look right. And if you stay out of it, it goes boom, boom, and takes out your trade you'd have been in. So if you've been in that trade now, you'd be changing your underwear. Yeah, it may be going a bit sideways, which means it's even more risky. Yeah, sideways. So if you took that one, there's a good chance it could come and hit this level. May even trigger some more longs in here and come down again. Or it could just rocket straight off. Excuse me a sec. Okay, leg. It's a hard market today because it's up, down, really, and then is it going up or is it failing? There's a possible failure there, so you just don't know. See, if it is that channel, I don't like the way it's working there. You've been outside today. It's awful up in Sheffield. Yeah, it's not not so good here, mate, to be fair. What is it at the moment? It's pretty mild, actually, today, 7, but we obviously had I'm assuming you had some snow, didn't you? I used to go up to Sheffield quite a bit, actually, to watch the snooker at the Crucible. I used to go from here over the Derbyshire Dales. Beautiful drive, that is. Buxton Way and all that. Love Sheffield. Used to go all the time. I haven't been for about 10 years, I don't think. But yeah, I used to go and watch the World Championships. But yeah, well, I know we've had loads of snow, haven't we? But it cleared up pretty quick here. I think we had about 3 or 4 inches, and then it cleared up pretty quick. But yeah, it's definitely getting cold now, isn't it? Winter's certainly kicked in, no argument there. Yeah, it's nice, Sheffield. I like Sheffield. Loads of students there, if I remember rightly. Some lovely bars and all that. A lot of stone as well, isn't it, I think? Buxton Bait, well, Matlock. Yeah, beautiful places. In fact, first time I drove there was 2005. How I know? Because I just picked up my brand new Mini Cooper and I went to see the snooker. I think it was the year. Who won it? What was his name? Quite chubby young lad. Steve? I can't remember now. 2005 it was. I picked up my brand new, I think it was called Black Eye Blue or Black Eye Purple Mini Cooper, and drove over the Derbyshire Dales through Buxton and up over the top. Just stunning. Beautiful country up there. Yeah, lovely. Buxton's great, isn't it? Yeah, old stone and that. And they do the water. Are we creeping up, or are we just trying to piss off some longs? I wonder. It looks like you might be right about that channel. It's following it. I'm not convinced. So I still think it's going to take out these 2 possible longs. Well, I doubt anyone will have gone long there, up that eye. There, possibly, which is triggered, but I wouldn't be shocked if that hits the bottom at least and takes out any possible longs, because that's just what this market does. It's designed to take out sort of weaker positions. I hate it when it's slow like this. In fact, I'm just going to see what it's going to do here, and I'm going to knock on there, then I'm going to go down and have my dinner. It's been quite a funny old day today. I mean, we trade quite a quick chart. I can't imagine sitting in here with looking at the hour chart on 4 hourly. That's got to pull the hell out of you. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Do you know what? I'll tell you what, I think that's a bit better. And the reason is because it fits at the top a bit. And we got a leg down. I think we may have another leg down here. So that may be something like that. I don't know. I'm still not massively convinced. Trouble is, if you get this part wrong, you could go long here and we may get a couple of legs and bounce off. So possible second entry long there, but it's still stuck in this range really, so it's not safe to it. It sort of looks like we're slowly working, but it can still make your life miserable. But as I say, I'll be surprised if those 2 hold. So I'm just looking at the top of this. Let's get the top right. Sometimes that helps you. Yeah, so if you had any of those trades there, you just got taken out. So we got a leg and a leg. I just don't like that there's nothing really there. It just made my life miserable. Yeah, yeah, after a while you'll get just to notice those. Just something doesn't feel right. And the market it's a bugger, really. It really is. They say the market's not against you. I beg to differ. I think that's exactly what it is. Sean Murphy, that's him. Sean Murphy, yeah, 2005, that was it. I forget who he beat now. Was it Matthew Stevens? I can't remember now. Sean Murphy, that was it. Sean Murphy. think he said he was giving some of it to the church. Because straight away I thought, you maniac, buy yourself a sports car. He was living. That's right. Yeah, he's from Rotherham, isn't he? Yeah. Who lives in Northern Ireland now, does he? Crikey. I don't watch it much as I used to, but I used to follow it religiously. I know. I don't know what happened. I suppose since I started trading, actually, takes over your life a bit, isn't it? But I went there quite a lot of times. I used to go most years for maybe over about 8 or 10 years. Yeah, it's a lovely place there. There used to be, there's a side door to the Crucible, actually, where a lot of the players come out and they get into those sort of 4x4 blacked out window type things. There's a really nice eat all you want Chinese right over the road for nice to go in there and fill me belly. Yeah, I used to enjoy that. I used to just go by myself. Yeah, it's nice in Sheffield. Haven't they just had not the World Championships, the British, the UK, I can't remember. Ron O'Sullivan just won something again, hasn't he, I think? I haven't followed it for about 4 years, I don't think. My sport, I tend to follow cricket at the moment, lately. Leg. God, this is getting boring. I mean, we've had a triple test there. 1, 2 legs down. It may pop up, but it may not. It may just trap some longs and come down a bit. I really don't know what it's going to do here. If I had to guess, I'd say it's more likely to go up, but it is just a guess. And the reason being is because it looks like we've had 2 legs back. So, yeah. It's just not playing ball, though, is it? Yeah, in fact, I'm knocking on the head for the day. Well, yeah, it's boring the arse off me now. It is touch. But the trouble is, sometimes when you get a bit bored, because it's going that slow, you can get into trades a bit too easy. There wasn't no setup, really. There is 2 legs back. I mean, if you wanted to take a punt, you might buy around here but just could do anything when it's doing like this. I mean, we got a leg up, we got a break, one attempt to go high, second attempt to go high, could come down, could do blood anything. So that is it for me today. So it's just not a lot of sideways again, chop here, no setups really. You may have taken that one. A lot of chop, same again, lots of chop. And it takes a big amount of the playing time. It's certainly looking like there's, sort of like a bullish sort of feel to it. Well, there is. It sort of kind of fits, doesn't it? But the trouble is, I mean, if you've got a leg up there and a couple of legs back, you want to try and pick a place to go long. That could be here, or it could be down here. You just don't know. I'm still not massively convinced about that. Yeah, the top works. I just don't like the way there's this big vacant area. Leg. No, it's a bit crap in it, really. And I'd rather go away 0 than take something a bit lame and a bit risky, because I think it looks like it's going to go up. I mean, it may just rocket up in a minute, who knows. I mean, we got 2 legs back. Just about, anyway. But it could do anything at the moment. It could do anything. It is looking like it's going up, but that's about as best I got. So that's it for today, folks. So I'll be back here same time tomorrow, Friday, another week gone. There's only, about 3... No, crikey, not even that. 2 and a bit weeks till Christmas. Unbelievable. That last week, I am going to go a little bit of Christmas music. I'll still talk as normal. Trust me, I'll soon drown it out, but I'll get a little bit of Christmas, just background music playing in the background, trying to get us in the spirit a bit, and then wind down for Christmas and have a nice Christmas break. So, I appreciate all your comments. We had a good chat about psychology earlier. I enjoy doing that. Helps me. I hope it helps you guys. You're welcome, mate. It's nice to have a chat about psychology because it seems most of us, that's probably our biggest battle. But what I'm starting to do, you may do it yourself, is if you go on YouTube and just type in trader affirmations, there's quite a few videos there telling you're the bee's knees, you're the best thing since sliced bread, believe in yourself, and all that type of stuff that might get you in the mood a bit, and might sort of help focus you for the day. I'm trying it a bit. Yeah, you too, Edward. You too, bud. So that's it. I appreciate everything. If you carry on trading, best of luck. I hope you get a setup. Failing that, I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.